We are up and going. Yeah, it's before 11:30 a.m., which is pretty impressive, considering that this is a very different trip for us. We're going on our first road trip with our baby.
Yes, and the baby is only 3 weeks old. The reason we're already traveling is because we got hit by the historic heat wave that we were talking about yesterday. If you're not quite aware, the Northwest is having unprecedented temperatures by far. It's not just like a couple of degrees over. We're gonna smash the old record by something like 8 or 9 degrees today. We thought, why not take advantage of our geography, because after all, this is the Pacific Northwest and we do have the Pacific Ocean where it's always cool, and even the crazy heat wave doesn't last there. So it did drop to 60s and it sounded like heaven, so we just booked a place and packed the car and we got in. Packing was a mission with a newborn, but we're pretty good at packing and traveling, so we're thinking that it's not that bad. We made it to Ocean Shores. I checked us in, but we haven't left the back seat because he's feeding. It was a decent drive, no traffic jam, but I will say driving for 3 hours this sleep deprived is dangerous, and I need to get more sleep for the way back. It's nice that we can all fit in the back seat. Currently our whole family fits in the back seat of our
back seat. Yeah, we've never sat back here before, so now that we have, we're like, oh, it's pretty spacious back here.
This hotel room has 2 beds, which is plenty, but we have a newborn and we're traveling, so we have this travel crib, and it's this simple really. You just push right here. There we go. Here's a mattress and a sheet, and it all packs very nicely. There we go. Very easy. So now he has a secure bed. Oh yeah, so the brand is Nuna, which is same as his stroller and car seat, so it's like a complete travel system, which for us was very important that we have a good one because we don't plan to be boarded up at home for 2 years. Alright, sweetie.
And his diaper might need a change.
She's been a while.
Oh, what a love song. Another key part to traveling with a baby of any kind is having a changing station, bringing lots of diapers and wipes. And for us, we actually found a portable changing pad, which we definitely plan to take advantage of, but we'd also been using it on the first floor of our house just so we could have multiple changing stations. So here's the changing pad. It just folds up and it folds down whenever you need to use it. This is going to be the little changing station here. So I'm not going to film the entire process, but you get the idea of how this gives him a little place to be changed here. Another key thing is bringing a lot of feeding utensils and things. And so, yeah, we're doing a combination of breastfeeding and formula feeding. So lots and lots of bottles.
Vacation is fittingly on the beach.
Heck yeah. We drove on the beach, in fact, which I've actually never done before. So that's really cool. So we got some food from Fat Marty's, which I think is like a Mexican kind of taco place. Everything smells really, really good, and we're really hungry. Well, we made it to the beach, we ate our tacos, and now it's Julian's very first time at the beach, except he's not awake, is he?
He's hiding, and I'm hiding him with this blanket from the sun, and the breeze is pretty strong. But it is his first time at the beach, and he's breathing the ocean vapors.
Yep.
And to us, at least, the weather feels really, really good after boiling for so long.
At the very least, he's in a brand new environment that he's never been in, and I do think it's really good air for him. It's also really good air for us because we've been cooped up inside for the last 2 weeks taking care of him. So add the heat wave on top of that, and it's just a really good change of scenery.
All right, first walk on the beach as a family, on our first family vacation. I'm so happy right now.
Yeah, this was perfect, and this was such a last-minute decision to come down here. I think you got the last room in the hotel even, so everything just happened to work out.
But it's right before 4th of July weekend, which is actually perfect. So we're missing the big crowds.
That really is the thing. This place goes crazy on 4th of July, but we are here and leaving on the 3rd. And that way, we're cooling off after the heat wave and then getting out before the noise and all the madness. Ocean beaches are a little different, you know, especially these Pacific ones. They're giant.
Yep.
And loud and cold, but it's a different type of enjoyment that you do. It's not like Miami or something.
Yeah, but it is still swimmable. I guess, let me go touch the water. Here.
It's coming.
Here we go, yep.
Run.
It's fast. Oh, it's warm. It's so warm.
It's warm?
Yeah, it's about as warm as the lake. It's like bath water.
Here's Julian. He's enjoying the beach too, from his little shelter. If you're wondering why we're here with such a young baby, we did the research and they all say the outdoors is not a problem for babies and they actually need the sun and the fresh air.
Yeah.
What is a problem, especially when they're this young, are germs. So we're actually not associating with just about anybody.
Yeah.
We're keeping him in the room and in the car and in our arms. And other than that, he's not really exposed to any people or germs. This will be a travel baby. We're just having to teach him now how to eat and sleep and all the basics. After so many trips by ourselves, now we have a newcomer.
Yeah, it's more fun. It'll be way more fun when he engages and we can be teaching him about everything and he'll be having first experiences.
Yeah, I can't
I'm super
wait.
excited for that.
Yeah, we teach him everything. Well, we pulled over to feed Julian, so Susie transferred to the back. And I think we're technically in a wildlife refuge, so I might step out and check out what's going on. A deer just raced by us super fast. It's pretty neat that we just could hide into here and feed our baby for several minutes or whatever, 10-20 minutes. Flowers are blooming here by the coast. And I was wondering how to enter this wildlife refuge. We'll leave the name in the video, but this seems like the road that does it. So we could have continued, but I don't want to rock the baby too much. So this is Pacific Northwestern kind of coastal foliage. Oh, huge rabbit, yeah. There are animals. That is a big rabbit. I wish Julian was grown up to see it. I think this is either all or mostly evergreen, which is very cool about living in Washington and overall the Northwest. And coastal climate tends to have a lot of evergreens. It's tempered by the ocean a lot. It's kind of unassuming. They keep putting that word into the description of businesses and restaurants and hotels and so on. It's kind of middle-class friendly, I would say, and family friendly here. That's why we never came before, and this time we came for the sake of the weather, but now that we know it's family friendly, we'll probably come once our kid grows up a little more. This is what's happening here. We have a bag full of sushi on the shore of the ocean, and we have to feed the kid first because there's an alarm ringing if we don't.
Yep, baby eats first now before we do. This is gonna be my first sushi in like 10 months almost.
Looks good to me. This
yeah.
is one of many. There's 2 bigger boxes as well. More.
Oh yeah.
So we got 4. There's 3 more.
Nice.
Yeah. First bite of sushi since pregnancy, huh?
It is. So we were so busy that I totally forgot that I hadn't eaten sushi in a long time and that I've really been wanting it. I don't even know what this is, but it looks amazing. That is so good.
We had to run from the ocean because it crept up and it's still creeping. Actually, we'll probably have to move from here too.
I think you're fine. No, this isn't bad, but we were very close. It was about to come up to the wheels actually. We were like, okay, we gotta back up.
We're about to eat and then get taken in by the ocean. Well, this is the life right here. Driving a Grand Cherokee Summit on the Pacific Ocean.
Our Jeep even has a sand mode there, so we've activated sand mode. Oops.
It's not the smoothest surface, but it is pretty smooth.
It's not bad. It's, you know, our roads in Seattle are probably worse, honestly, so.
No, way worse.
Yeah. So cool.
Oh, it's a rescue vehicle. Oh, this guy, little car, film that. This little car got stuck, so the rescue vehicle got it.
Yeah, you definitely want to have the right vehicle out here because it would be pretty scary to get stuck.
Just saw a big ass bald eagle eating something on the beach. So Susie had to break out the giant lens.
It's a carcass.
Yeah, it's eating a carcass.
Yeah, that thing is bloody. It's really scary actually.
The kid is in the back sleeping obliviously. This would be a little morbid, but let's see what the eagle was eating. It smells terrible, whatever it is, but I think it's a seal. Definitely a seal, looks terrible. Over to the town of Westport, about an hour away, because we read that they have the best seafood around here.
So around the search for crab, we saw tons of crab washed up on the shore yesterday on the beach. So we figured there must be tons of it here for us to eat because most of that crab was eaten by the birds. So yeah, we drove all the way to Westport to find some crabs.
Yeah, this is called Marina Seafood Market, well reviewed. On the way here, we noticed that the casino in Ocean Shores is also advertising all you can eat crab, but we cannot take a newborn into a casino. There are too many germs, so we're out here gonna pick it up from a window and then go walk by the water.
Why the seafood is so good here is that they actually catch it right here on the coast, and they even vacuum pack it, and they offer it for sale, so you can buy it and take it home fresh, cook it yourself, or you can come over here and they'll cook it for you. And so that's the case with a lot of the restaurants here on the coast. And so we're going to take a walk by the pier and probably see a lot of the fishing boats coming in with a lot of the fresh catches.
We got our coffees, but don't be fooled, they're decafs. We both quit coffee when Susie got pregnant.
Yep, and we're still doing decaf, even though this is arguably the time we need caffeine the most. But yeah, we got our hot coffees. We're walking over next to the dock, and there's tons of fishing boats. So all these boats go out and catch a lot of the fish that we're eating out here.
If you enjoy seafood, this is the place to be. It's fresh off the boat right here. And there are boats all around us now. And you can charter them, a whole lot of them, and you can go fishing.
So here they have a fishing charter, and it looks like they actually award prize money to people that catch really big fish. Live crab, smoked salmon, oyster shooters. Oh yeah.
So you can hop right into here, which we won't, but we can show you. Right on the water there's a little shop, and you can get your fish. Oh yeah. So here is the live crab. It doesn't get much fresher than this, folks.
Yep, Dungeness crab right there.
Actually, one more point about the coffee. I would argue that right after having a baby is when you don't want coffee, because you need to get any little minute of sleep you can, and coffee will keep you up and you'll miss the time windows, which are very limited.
That's true. Yeah, it depends on your strategy, but the strategy people tell us, which is probably the easiest, is to sleep when he's sleeping, which obviously can't do that when we're traveling, but when we're back into a normal routine, we're trying to do that as much as we can.
And we go to bed now early, even though we travel, and we leave the room late. Normally we're the other way around. We stretch the day to the fullest, but right now, different priorities.
Break it down into chunks.
Here's probably the main walk in town, where you see these piers and the shops on the left. And right across you actually see what looks like bungalows. And I bet you they're right on the ocean, and it doesn't get much closer than that. Susie's on B-roll duty.
Yeah.
Because I'm on baby duty.
Exactly. That's nice. I think the other thing is you have to remember to do things that you love, even when obviously it's hard to carve out time for yourself, but you have to try to find time to do things that make you feel adult and normal.
And obviously we're traveling 3 hours away on the ocean. You know, we're not canceling our life right here. It's kind of proving it's possible, but we actually did it out of necessity because of the heat wave.
That's true, but it has the other effect of just helping us go back into traveling, which is something that we always want to do. We're not going to stop doing that.
Yeah, and all the things we did to prepare, like get the right items in, try to develop the right skills to be able to travel with the baby. Here we are now up against those cottages. They're called Westport marina cottages. Look very vintage and front row. And on this side, it looks like we're about to hit the beach, and there's a really nice looking platform. Here's a map we can show you where we are. If you see the rectangle on the map here, Grays Harbor County, there's this bay. We're spending our weekend on this whole bay, north and south on it. On top of Westport, in all its glory.
Well, we kept walking past that little strip, got to the viewpoint, and we noticed that there was a little trail, so we just kind of kept walking. It's actually a paved path, and we ended up at West Haven State Park, which is one of several state parks around the area.
Which is really cool because from town on foot you can get to a state park, and here there are surfers and a whole lot of walking to be done. It's very serene, and yeah, just a really good thing for this place going on.
So we made it to the Grays Harbor Lighthouse, which is apparently one of the biggest on the West Coast.
And the biggest in Washington State, interesting enough. We took a very nice long paved path, which is perfect because we have a stroller. We like Westport probably more than Ocean Shores, and we know we'll be coming back. It's like 3 months of the year, the weather is always around 60-65 Fahrenheit, which means if you want to cool off anytime, you can just drive here. So the menu said whole crab cleaned, and this is what we get. So, I mean, it's clean from the middle part, so they've given you all the limbs basically, but we still have to do the work, and we're on the road without any tooling. So I went to the store, and this is the closest thing I could find.
And what's the other thing you got there?
I got a rolling pin over here. This was the first thing that I saw that could have worked, because one time we went camping and we used a 2x4. So this, but I was like, if I bang too loud, I'll scare our baby. So then next I found that, and I think this is actually working perfectly, so check it out. And it's stronger than the actual thing they give you normally. There you go. Easy. So no flow right there. There's a nice chunk of crab meat right here.
I'm not helping out because I've got a sleeping babe on me. He doesn't want to be let go, so we're just chilling, and we're watching the Top Chef Portland finale. So it's back on, so let's get back into it. To another beach. I don't know the name of this beach, but it's actually kind of a private beach, but there is a way to drive on it, and this is the only way to really access it. There's no parking lot.
It's called Mock Rock Beach. And it's really, really quiet and nice. There are maybe 30 people here or something like that, but it's giant, so you can just go through and there's nobody to bother you whatsoever.
Yeah, it's not crowded unlike the beaches at Ocean Shores. So yeah, we almost have it to ourselves except for a few people around us.
Oh his head is coming off.
Oh.
It always does.
I know, he has such a big head.
Oh, you look nice with him.
Yeah, we're just snuggling like we did for 9 months.
Different now, but yeah.
So we didn't vlog during dinner so much last night because we were so hungry and we were trying to watch Top Chef. And our guy didn't win, by the way, but you know, it was still a good season to watch. Yeah, second, he got up there. But yeah, the crab was so good. We had crab 3 different ways throughout the entire day yesterday, and everything was delicious. But that fresh crab at the end was by far my favorite.
That was just simply a boiled crab with a little butter and a little lemon. And when they boiled it, I think they put salt in the water, and that's it. Nothing else, and it was just amazing.
It was delicious. It had such a nice sweet like flavor to it, and it was a lot. Like I was not sure we were going to be full after that, but we were both really full.
We were. It was huge. Yeah, I didn't realize how much meat is going to come out of it.
This is our last full day. We had our burger for our brunch, but I'm thinking we either need fish and chips or maybe some fried oysters or clams. We got to do something seafood related for our last meal before we leave. So we're definitely going to do that.
We got really lucky on our last full day here. The weather is the best actually. It's so gentle, it caresses our faces.
And by the best we mean it's like filtered light, it's not direct sunlight, it's not too hot. It really feels like you're walking outside in air conditioning, which is actually our preferred climate, it turns out.
Yeah, and even it's better than AC because it contains this natural moisture and gentleness that normally AC is in a rift with its environment. Here is just perfect, soft and flowing, and yes, then the temperature ends up being around 65-70 degrees. It's just perfect. We made a stop here at a place we never knew existed called Seabrook, and it looks like a little utopia that was just built in the last 15 years.
Yeah, it's pretty new. I guess it was established in 2004, and then this little city center, or town center, I guess, was established in 2018. So it's pretty new. Some of it is still under construction, but they've got, you know, a place to rent some bicycles and some stand-up paddle boards, and obviously some places to eat and drink.
And it looks kind of like neo-Victorian architecture. It's very interesting. It's built into the forest right next to the coast, so it's marine and forested and a very gorgeous little town. The beer garden is kid-friendly. We just explored Seabrook a little bit, and wow, we're impressed. So obviously what they're going for here is recreating that old America that everybody loved, and it's kind of hard to come by at this point.
Yeah, the old kind of classic neighborhood where your kids can just run free. I've seen so many kids just riding bikes by themselves, like in the streets here. That's something you wouldn't want to do in Seattle, but it just feels really cozy, really cute residential, but also just really safe also. Very family friendly.
And beautiful. Clean.
So a lot of the sidewalks out here have yet to be made. They're not fully paved. Instead, there's like this white substance, which I thought was maybe sand or something. But we look closer, and it turns out they're just ground up oyster shells because there's just so many oysters around here. They're straight up dried out oyster shells. It's pretty funny. There's that many oysters.
Look at the birdhouses.
Yeah, cute little birdhouses.
And everything's blooming.
Yeah. All the houses here are just like impeccable.
It's amazing.
It's such a cool setting here because you've got the beach that's not that far away, but then if you come in just a little bit by the roads, it turns into like a forest already. So you're getting the best of both worlds, and that's why this just sounds like a really heavenly place to stay for a little bit, do a vacation out here.
Came back to the beach to see if it's going to clear up, and it did. For the first time this trip it cleared up beautifully, so now it's very nice and sunny with the ocean breeze. It's just magic. Susie's feeding Julian in there, and I'm making some art over here for the video. It's feeling really good. This is just what we wanted out of this weekend. Some coolness, some sun, a lot of seafood, fresh air, get out of the city, switch up the scenery. It's paying off so well this time.
He's eating a lot. He had a second 2 bottles now. And he's eating and pooping and, you know, a little gassy, so he gets a little distressed, but overall he's happy. This is a really nice view to be looking at though, so I'm not complaining.
This is what we're looking at right here. It's got water spilling and the ocean nearby, these cliffs. You can see how the erosion is cutting into these cliffs and the trees are starting to hang. There are not many people, just a few cars over here. He's a growing boy, he doesn't know his limits yet. I've been hearing a lot of that dad body, so I don't know, is this it? You tell me. Does this qualify as a dad body? I've actually lost a lot of weight because of she went to labor. Labor was very long and painful, and then just taking care of him. I haven't been eating or sleeping all that much, so I don't think I'm gaining any weight. I've actually melted through almost 10 pounds. It's crazy. And I haven't been able to work out, so I'm probably losing muscle too, which is not so good, but at least some fat is gone.
Aww.
This is the life now.
We gotta slow everything down. I don't mind sitting here, like, it's a nice view. Aww.
Oh, he smiled.
Yes, he smiled.
One last meal here on the beach in Ocean Shores. We got massive halibut and some clams.
Halibut and clam strips and fries, so it's our last kind of big pig out before we go back. And when we go back, it's back to salads and healthy eating. But for now, we're gonna enjoy the fried food and the seafood.
Yeah. Big chunks of halibut.
One thing we forgot to bring were our camping chairs because we totally could have done that and actually been able to sit. But for right now, it's okay. We're just eating off the hood of the car. But yeah, we have some halibut, really big chunk of fried halibut. It's so good, really good with this creamy tartar sauce. We've also got some fried clam strips right here, and this is really good with the marinara. Is it marinara? It's a cocktail.
It might be cocktail,
sauce.
but really thick and
Yeah.
lots of horseradish.
Yeah, like a red tomato cocktail sauce with horseradish, really nice, and also some fries to go along with it. So really excellent. And fireworks even. Got a little fireworks show going.